camping alone can be a bit scary. Oh, damn it, they're shining the light down here again. I'm just wondering, like, why do they keep going out onto the bridge? Why do they keep shining the light down here? Like, what are they looking for?
I'm in New Zealand in the South Island, and it's winter down here. It's cold, it's a bit windy, and as you can see, it is raining. These sound like miserable conditions to go out camping in, but if you've watched my channel before, you'll know that I love camping in the rain. I'm planning to take the hot tent and head up this valley. I'm not going to go far, and that's because I've got a whole lot of extra things with me, a whole lot of luxuries that are really heavy. So we're just going to go a short way. I need to find the place that I'm thinking of, because I've never been there before. I need to find a suitable place to pitch a large tent, and then I need to get it all set up on my own in these conditions. So wish me luck, and I'll catch up with you when I'm all set up.
The Pomoly Hussar 2. I will tackle setting up the stove and the chimney in a little while, but what I want to do first is I want to collect some firewood and get the inside of the tent set up, because I don't know if you can tell, it's getting really, really dark. And it's not that late in the day, but it's just getting really dark. So what I'd like to do is go and get some firewood. So there's somebody coming this way, and it's making me a bit nervous. Gosh. Oh. So, there's something that I haven't really talked about very much on my videos because it feels really uncomfortable. When you're camping alone, it can be a bit scary. I am not at all scared of animals because New Zealand doesn't have predatory Sorry, I've had to turn the light off. I'll explain why in a moment. I can, in the distance, see the road. Like I'm probably only a 20-minute walk in. And there's a bridge that goes over the river, and I saw a light on the bridge. And I could see it was shining this way. They obviously could see me because, I mean, I'm illuminated with the camera lights. And then I saw the light go along and start coming along the track. Now, I know I'm out here, but I'm a little crazy. And it's probably 6 o'clock at night. It's pouring with rain and it's supposed to rain all night. So you sort of have to ask, apart from my crazy YouTube content creator who loves camping in the rain, who else is coming out on this track at this time of night in the middle of the rain? So, oh, there's the light again. The light just keeps coming and going, appearing, going away. And it's not like it's a, like you might be thinking, oh, you know, you might be mistaken, it could be something from a house or something. No, there are no houses, there's nothing. Nothing up here. There's the light again. Shining pretty bright down this way. You can see the light shining this way again. What are they doing? So, my mind is going to all sorts of places. Let's be realistic, I am a female and I'm camping on my own, and that makes me anxious. I can pretend to be some sort of gung-ho girl, but I'm not. I'm just like everybody else. I do get scared. I'm not really sure what to do. Because it doesn't actually matter whether the risk is real or not. If you feel scared, you're not going to enjoy yourself. So I'm going to need to think about whether I'm happy to stay. Oh, there's the light again. What are they doing? Damn it, they're shining the light down here again. I'm just wondering, like, why do they keep going out onto the bridge? Why do they keep shining the light down here? Like, what are they looking for? There is a camping ground down there that's hardly ever used. Like, it's a free camping ground with no facilities. But like, who comes out camping in the middle of the rain? Except for me. And why stand out in the rain shining your light down here? I mean, if you're in like a, what do you call it, a camper van or something, you're going to cozy up and you're going to cook your dinner. Okay, what I'm going to do is make a cup of tea and put on some warm clothes. I think I'll feel better. It feels like there's nothing a cup of tea can't solve. I do all my cooking on the stove, on the wood stove, and I'm really glad that I chose to bring a gas cooker. I just threw in my tiny little fire maple, I don't even know what it's called, it's a tiny little, really tiny little ultralight cooker. Really glad that I threw it in. I don't like to rely on cooking over the fire. I like to make sure I've got a backup source of heat and cooking. Now that I've calmed down, I'm starting to be a bit more logical about those lights on the bridge. I'm almost certain it's somebody who set up camp down there. The most logical and simplest answer is usually the right one. So like mass murderers is probably the least likely. Innocent, nice people just wanting to set up a tent down at the free campsite is probably the most logical answer. I've made up my mind that I'm going to choose to believe that it's just another lot of people camping down the way. And so I'm just going to calm down and enjoy my night. I am sitting here though, contemplating what I should do because it's now quite late. It's actually dinner time, so even though I'm having my cake and a cup of tea, I just really want it. But it is dinner time. And it does take quite a while, because I'm new to it, to roll the stovepipe. And last time I did it, I rolled it incorrectly, so it's not already going to have like a natural tendency to just go into the correct position. So I'm going to have to really work it to get it rolled correctly. And I'd be doing it in the dark, in the rain, and then I've got to get the fire going, etc, etc, etc. So I actually think the most logical thing is I'm going to cook my dinner over the gas. I'm going to go to bed and get a good night's sleep, and then I wake up tomorrow morning and then we can reevaluate things. Maybe I'll get the stove set up then and we can have a fire in the morning. I have brought some delicious food for breakfast and it'd be lovely to cook it over the stove. So that's all I'm going to do. I came here to chill out, I came here to relax and be cozy, and I've got my little cozy set up almost complete. I've stopped for my cup of tea and then I'm going to get my bed all ready, and I'm going to have a cozy evening. I'm going to read my book, I'm going to have dinner, I'm going to get a good night's sleep, and then we'll reevaluate things in the morning and maybe get the fire going then. So I have got fragrant Thai red curry that I've put some udon noodles into and a whole lot of spinach. The udon noodles just to sort of pack it out a wee bit, make it a bit more filling for me. And the spinach, well, just because I can. I try to add greenery to everything. Make sure I get my nutrients. And I just love coriander. Cilantro. So, I put copious quantities of that as well. Oh, this is fantastic. I'm so happy now. This is wonderful. And I'm actually not too bothered by the fact that I haven't got the stove going tonight. It's actually quite warm. I mean, I know you can see by my breath that it's not hot. It's just not, it's not an icy cold night. And I think that's because we've got the rain. It's keeping it really warm. Well, warm for winter. Okay guys, I'm going to have some dinner. And then I'm actually going to get ready for bed. I've got my book, I'm reading Horse by Geraldine Brooks, and I'm really enjoying it, so I'm going to get stuck into that. And I'll say goodnight to you later on, I think. Thanks for coming with me on this trip. It hasn't necessarily turned out exactly as I was planning, but I quite like that, because that's adventure, isn't it? It's really nice when I was going to say it's really nice when things don't go to plan. No, it's not really nice when things don't go to plan. But it's adventurous when things don't go to plan. And it really tests you and helps you grow. So I really don't mind. I'm having a great time. Now that I'm over that anxiety of the spooky lights, which I've decided are not spooky. Bon appetit! Dishes to give them a wash and collect some water because the river's up quite high, which means there's a bit of silt in it, so I want it to sit overnight so that the silt goes to the bottom. When I want to make my coffee in the morning, I've got some fresh water on the top. And I'm also going to go and just check on the level of the river. I've been checking on it a couple of times. I know this river really well, and I know how it behaves, so I'm not concerned about where we're camped. But I think it's really prudent to keep checking it and just make sure that I'm comfortable with the level of the river before I go to sleep. Alright, back soon. Well, I'm just going to jump across here into this little island. The river level is definitely up. I'm up here about another metre higher than the river, so I'm still quite happy. And as you can see from this area, it probably gets water up here occasionally, but it's not like an area that floods. You'd be able to tell from the vegetation if it was. Okay, I'm going to hop back into the tent, hop into bed and read, and then I'll just check on the river in about an hour, and I'll check on those forecasts.
I am perfectly set up for this situation. I have put all my stuff in bags. I have my exit strategy planned, and I have got cell phone reception to check on the weather, so there's actually not much more I can do. Fortunately, I'm up off the ground, and if water starts accumulating around me, I'm just going to pop my pack on my back, grab all my bags, stuff my sleeping bag into the top of my pack, fold up this bed, and just march my way up the hill. I'll probably dump some of the stuff that doesn't matter if it gets wet, and just make my way to my car and sleep in my car.
I have got cell reception, just one bar, as I mentioned before, and I've just received a notification from YouTube Studio that someone has donated a little bit of money to Adventure OT via the YouTube Super Thanks. It's just... it's absolutely made my night, because look at this. Look at where I am. I'm actually having the time of my life. I'm having so much fun. Like, you might be looking at me thinking that just looks hideous. I actually love this. This is just... I have not thought about a single thing to do with any of my concerns about home life, or, you know, big existential questions about my future and existence. All I'm trying to do is get through this moment, and this is what I love about it. I just love being. I just love being. I love having to cope with adversity when it's within my comfort zone. And in the midst of this, I just get this little lovely treasure. Thank you, Belly. Thank you so much. And actually, thank you to all of you. Thank you to those people that leave me donations. It doesn't matter whether it's $1. I really, really appreciate it. It's just so kind of you to help to fund the channel and to help to grow. So thank you so very much for those people that donate on YouTube Super Thanks, and for those people that donate on Buy Me a Coffee. You guys allow me to do this because it's really expensive, and I wouldn't be able to do it without you. I think I'm actually going to read for a couple of hours because I do want to keep an eye on the river. And then I've already made a decision. What I'm going to do is, when I go to bed, I'm going to set my alarm for an hour and a half, because usually you sleep in about approximately a 90-minute cycle, and so I'll sleep for an hour and a half, wake up, check the river, and do that a couple of times during the night, just to put my mind at rest. Okay, good night everybody. If nothing crazy happens in the night, I will see you in the morning. Otherwise, I will see you when we are floating out. Good night. Okay, that's good, not much change there. Water level's still the same. Ground's still pretty dry around the tent. And let's just have a look in the creek. So once again, there's just a bit of water there. And doesn't
still dry up here. I've got to shine the light and see. Yep. Okay, so it's the same as it was before, about an hour ago. And I don't know if you can tell, but the rain is easing off. It's quite light. So it is bedtime. Optimistic if I've got both sides of the tent. It stops raining and then it starts drizzling. I might have to close that side down a bit just so that my bed doesn't get wet. It's just so nice having everything open and getting some fresh air. Have a dance. In and out, in and out. Enough, it actually slept really well. After I decided that there was nothing to worry about, I put it out of my mind and I had a really good sleep. I was very mindful of the river, but I got up a couple of times to check and it hadn't gone up at all. And I know there'll be people who think, well, why did you camp alongside a river when it was raining? And the answer to that is, it's beautiful. It's the most beautiful spot. And there weren't any other spots that were going to be out of the way enough and had a big enough space for my tent. Plus, I know this river well. As I said yesterday, I've camped alongside this river further up on one of the terraces twice before in heavy rain, and I know how it behaves. I've also walked up and down this valley a few times,
I know this area well, I know the catchment well, I know the signs of an area that floods versus doesn't, so I felt comfortable enough. Still had my stuff packed just in case because you don't want to be a fool, but the river's gone down already, so it was right up to the banks and it's receded back already even though it's still drizzling, so yeah, nothing to worry about in the end. That is phenomenally good. That is such a good coffee. A second luxury item that I brought with me other than this camp stretcher. Big, solid, beautiful looking coffee percolator that goes on top of the camp stove. That can brew a coffee that you can just keep pouring from. But I'm not going to bring it out, I'll save it for when I do use the stove on my next trip. But it's beautiful and it's got that lovely comforting feel about it because it's just so pretty. So because I was just making the coffee in the kettle, I didn't bring anything to strain the brines out with, so they just settle into the bottom. That's fine. Get a bushman's coffee. Take what I can get. So I've got my flex tail tiny repel going because the sandflies, which are our little biting midges, are out in force. Wasn't expecting that in the winter, but you know, they're persistent. And when it's been raining and then it starts to clear, like it keeps doing on and off at the moment, they come out. They come out after the rain. This is the first time I'm using the tiny repel with a local New Zealand repellent disc rather than the one that came with it from Flextail. They did say that for New Zealand conditions you might need a local one that sort of wards off your bugs, I guess. So yeah, so far with the other disc I've found it only moderately useful, like it reduces the amount of sand flies and mozzies around, but it doesn't seem to completely eradicate them, which is what I want. That's what I want. So we'll see how this disc goes. As I know a lot of people have had good results with the Thermocell, and this disc goes in the Thermocell, so it's technically for the Thermocell. I'm just using it in the flex tail. The only thing is you've got to cut them in half because they're too big to slide in to the receiver, but they're exactly twice the size, which is perfect because if you cut them in half you've got 2 discs. So I'm not bothered. Breakfast this morning is bacon, mushrooms and kale with thyme from my garden. It was going to be on toast. Bought a piece of lovely toast from a loaf that I made myself, and I was going to toast that on top of the stove, but never mind, next time. Bacon's lovely and crispy, so I'm just going to add the mushrooms, and I think I'll actually add the kale now so that it's not too chewy. You know me, always adding greens to my meals. To this warm breakfast, and even though I don't have my toast to put it on, that's fine. Oh. It's lovely. I love the fact the rain is coming and going. Just adds a bit of diversity. I've been reflecting on this trip and thinking the next one I go on, I really want to try and get there in dry weather. Because I think my intention was to have this super cozy camp, and this has been lovely and cozy. But I think if you can get somewhere in the dry and get yourself set up so that all your gear is dry and the ground is dry, and then it starts to rain. That's the ultimate. Unfortunately this time round it just wasn't possible because it started raining lightly from very early in the morning yesterday, and A, I just couldn't have got out here before the rain because it was too early in the morning, and B, I had family commitments, so you'd be realistic. But I have to say this has been amazing. It's been a really lovely trip and I'm really glad that I came. It's been really relaxing sitting here. I enjoyed my sleep last night. It was lovely listening to the rain on the tent as I went to sleep once I had settled down my anxiety. So it's been a really successful trip. But I would really like to have a lovely cozy rainy camp where I'm set up in the dry. So the next one I go on, I'm going to try and do that. After I've had breakfast, I'm going to read my book for a while and chill out. And then I'm going to start the pack up. And I think because I'm only about a 10 or 15 minute walk from the car, what I might do is pack up and take my pack and then come back and pack down the tent and the stretcher. So I'll do 2 trips instead of carting everything like I did yesterday. That was just a bit crazy. Well, I came out here looking to have a relaxing camp in the rain, and things didn't go completely to plan, but I had a wonderful time, and I learned a couple of things about myself. I learned that even when I'm fearful of something, I can work through it, and that's going to make me less anxious and stronger and more capable for the next time I have a little wobble of anxiety. I also learned that even when things don't completely go to plan, you can still have a really good time. And I think it's really important in life to have plans, but just to go with it when things don't work out. Sometimes it's serendipitous. Sometimes you end up having the most amazing experience that you weren't planning to. I've taken my first load of stuff back to the car, and now I just need to take the tent and the stretcher and of course all my electronic gear. And then it's homeward bound to get all of this stuff dried and cleaned. That is going to be a real mission because we have got a big mess here. Okay, you guys, thanks for coming. It was great to share it with you. See you on the next adventure. Bye for now.